Hello, everyone. Good afternoon or good morning to you guys. I'm sorry, good evening to you guys. So I would like to first of all welcome all of you to Smart Academy's PTE preparation class. अनि हाम्रो यो चाहिँ 1 week को course हुनेवाला छ. अनि म चाहिँ तपाईहरुको instructor. So I'm Princey Newton Sherpa and I am going to be your instructor for all 7 of these days है त. So, हाम्रो क्लासमा चाहिँ we're gonna be talking about PTE and त्यसपछि यसको important taskहरु चाहिँ कभर गर्नेवाला छौं र even if you miss like अहिलेको क्लास मिस भयो भने कुनै पनि क्लास मिस भयो भनेदेखि पनि we're running classes 2 टाइममा so you can join at any time तपाईलाई जब comfortable लाग्छ तब अनि yeah so आजको दिनमा चाहिँ we will first off start with a little bit of overview थोरै overview गर्ने सुरुमा अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ हामी कन्टेन्टमा चाहिँ डाइभ गर्ने है त So before that, can you guys let me know if तपाईहरुले पहिला PT दिनु भएको छ कि छैन? Are you guys like old or new? तपाईहरुले PT दिनु भएको छ कि छैन? Are you guys old or new? Chat मा लेखिदिनुस् न मलाई so that I'll get a little bit of context on what you guys are up to. Okay, new, okay. Okay. New. Oh my. Okay. सबैजना न्यू हुनुहुन्छ. I've given twice. I'm old. तपाईहरुले न्यूहरुले अगाडि नै प्र्याक्टिस गरिराख्नु भएको हो कि अहिलेसम्म प्र्याक्टिस नै गर्नु भएको छैन कि के हो? You've given one time. Okay. Old. Okay. If you guys are already practicing because हाम्रो चाहिँ यो this is definitely going to be helpful for you. प्र्याक्टिस नै गरेको छैन and new. Okay. प्र्याक्टिस गरिरहेको छौं. Okay, ल ठीक छ त्यसो भए. So हाम्रो यो कोर्स चाहिँ it's gonna be a mix of everything. So beginner को लागि पनि friendly छ अनि त्यसपछि beginner को लागि पनि सबै नै I'm gonna talk about everything. अनि त्यसपछि advanced हरु so तपाईहरुले retakers हरु उनीहरुको लागि पनि we have new strategies, right? So त्योहरु भयो अनि त्यसरी चाहिँ I'll guide you through it. And definitely तपाईको entire PT फेरि भ्याउँदैन. एक हफ्तामा we only have 7 hours, right? So entire PT नै चाहिँ भ्याउँदैन. Every single in depth मा जान चाहिँ भ्याउँदैन. I'll try to cover everything. तर जुन जुन चाहिँ important छ नि त्योहरु चाहिँ पहिला सुरु कभर गरेर सकाएर अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ जुन जुन सानो सानो टास्कहरु छ not very very important हरु त्योहरु चाहिँ अलिकति end तिर लगेर जाने. So yeah, हल्का crash course तरिकाले नै चाहिँ रन गर्छु है त. So struggling with listening. Okay, that's something new. Okay, ल त्यसो भए ठीक छ है त. सो अहिलेको लागि चाहिँ त्यति नै भइहाल्यो. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट अफ विथ हाम्रो कन्टेन्ट अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ हामी बिचबिचमा पनि कुरा गर्दै गरौँला. अब केही क्वेसन छ भनेदेखि एकैछिन होल्ड गरिदिनु होला. बट या सो रिड अलाउड. यस आज हामी रिड अलाउड नै गर्ने हो. Okay, so today I will talk to you about what PTE is. So अलिकति ओभरभ्यू दिउँ हैन किनभने धेरै जसोहरु चाहिँ न्यू हुनुहुँदो रहेछ है. सो या पहिला सुरु चाहिँ इन्ट्रोडक्सन अलिकति गरौँ अनि त्यसपछि विल टक अबाउट यो कोर्स जुन हुन्छ 1 वीकमा हामीले के सिक्छौं भनेर अनि त्यसपछि विल डाइभ इन्टु टुडेज कन्टेन्ट एन्ड दैट विल बी it for today है त. So Pearson's Test of English PTE है. ओके ल अहिले केही पनि मलाई च्याटमा केही पनि नपठाउनु ल अलिकति डिस्ट्र्याक्टिङ हुन्छ सो केही इम्पोर्टेन्ट भयो भने मात्र लाइक केही बुझेन यताउति भयो भने मात्र गर्नुहोस् or if I ask you a question then त्यसरी रेस्पोन्ड गर्दा चाहिँ हुन्छ नभएदेखि यतिकै बिचबिचमा चाहिँ नसोध्नु because I tend to get very distracted है यस्तो गरेपछि चाहिँ ओके ल लेट्स डाइभ इन है त सुरुमा चाहिँ ओके सो Pearson's Test of English PTE ओके stop spamming text I'm saying this multiple times stop spamming text है त ल सो PTE Pearson Test of English so यो चाहिँ के हो त why PTE what is PTE हैन सो PTE चाहिँ तपाईको completely computer based examination हो to test your proficiency in English language so हेर्नुस् है English language को चाहिँ proficiency मात्र भनेको छ हैन सो तपाईको advanced level को English पनि चाहिदैन के तपाईलाई if you can hold a basic conversation then it's going to be very helpful for you हैन त्यतिले नै पनि it's going to be enough त्यसको माथि हामीसँग strategies हरु त्यस्तोहरु युज गरिसकेपछि त आरामले नै पुग्छ तपाईहरुलाई So it is completely computer based. So computer based भइसकेपछि चाहिँ कुनै पनि human bias चाहिँ हुनु भएन. अनि त्यसपछि I can't understand Nepali. I think you're the only one who cannot understand Nepali here. बाकीहरु के हो? Okay, so PT is completely computer based, which means there's absence of human bias. And this is I'll try to incorporate both. Yeah, he's Indian, I think. Yeah. Okay, so it is completely computer based and there's no human involved, so there's no human bias, and your score is not gonna depend upon any other person's mood, you know. So that way it's gonna be fair, and especially AI scoring. So AI scoring, there's this software, right? So like the general idea of any software is that whatever information you feed in, like randomly English बोल्नु खोज्दाखेरि and then I start stuttering. Okay, so AI scoring चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ? So the basic concept of a software is whatever info you feed it, it's gonna do the same, right? So if you tell the robot white line matra follow गर, just follow the white line, it's gonna ignore all the black lines around it, red, black, green, all the lines around it, and it's only gonna focus on the white line, right? I don't think it's gonna be very helpful if I only speak in English for a lot of people. Okay. If you cannot understand, let me know. नभएदेखि चाहिँ I'll just continue in Nepali mostly, है त. So AI scoring. So yeah, so त्यस्तो भइसकेपछि चाहिँ के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि तपाईँको चाहिँ जुन मार्किङ फ्याक्टर्स हुन्छ, सो त्यो मार्किङ फ्याक्टर्सहरू मात्र चाहिँ फोकस गर्ने भयो क्या. अब तपाईँको चाहिँ प्रोनाउन्सिएसन, फ्लुएन्सी, कन्टेन्ट मात्र हेर्ने भनेको छ भनेदेखि चाहिँ इट्स नट गोना लुक एट योर अदर थिङ्स लाइक ग्रामर एन्ड भोकाबुलरी एन्ड स्टफ लाइक द्याट है. सो त्यही कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ AI scoring is okay, what is going on here? Equation. So, okay. I'm just trying to get to the point. Yeah, I'm getting distracted. Okay. Equation either. Okay, and then so AI scoring, so it's easier, it's friendly, it is fair and everything, and then it is accepted worldwide, so you don't have to worry. And then early results. So because it is AI scoring, the software is gonna score, so it's not gonna take much time. And early results. So if you are in a hurry, then that's helpful for you as well, right? So, you guys probably only know about PT Academic, right? So there are a lot of users to PT, not just PT Academic. So there are different types of PTE as well. It's not just PT exam. There are so many different types of PT. So these are the main three ones. So the first one is PT Academic, which is the most common one. So it is accepted worldwide for study and immigration. So PT Academic is accepted worldwide everywhere, and which I think you guys are gonna also give that. And then the second one we have PT Course. So PT Course is just a general English test. It is accepted in Canada for immigration. So it is for Canada only. And then PT UKVI. So PT UKVI Academic UKVI, PT Home, A1, A2, B1, all of those are for your UK applications, right? So these three are the main ones that students prefer the most. And then the other one we have is PTE General Training, which is for Australian PR. So all three of these have the same content, except for a few tasks here and there. So we're gonna take PT Academic as the base, and then if you guys need any info on PT Core or PT UKVI, then you can let me know. I'll give that to you as well. But mainly we're gonna focus on PT Academic. Right. And then, so general training has different contents and stuff. So we're not going to talk about the general training because it's not very common as well either. Okay. And PT academic can be used for whatever you need. Like academic can be used for everything else. Okay. So PT academic. So we have 4 modules. So your score is going to be determined based on 4 modules, which is speaking, writing, reading, and listening. So speaking, so I'm kind of getting distracted. So चारवटा modules चाहिँ हुन्छ. So each carries 90, 90, 90 scores. So and then your overall score is also going to be 90. So speaking 90, writing 90, reading 90, listening 90, and then your overall score is also going to be 90. But what you have to know here is that your scoring is not done based on like just calculating the average of the four scores. Like your overall score is not going to be the average of the four scores of the four modules, right? So there's this thing called integrated scoring system, and then there's a whole different set of scoring system for PTE, right? Okay, so it's basically not average, like mean, median, average निकाल्ने त्यस्तो हुँदैन है. Okay, so these are all of the question types. So you need to have basic info on all of those as all of these as well. So it's just sort of like general knowledge, so that when someone asks you like, what is PT? Why are you giving PT? So you need to have like something to say, right? So you can't just be blank, like, I don't know, I just give PT. So yeah, so in speaking we have 5 tasks, writing we have 2 tasks, reading we have 5 tasks, and then for listening section we have 8 tasks. So total we have 20 question types in PTE Academic. All right, now the most frequently asked questions is, are there new question types added to the PTE Academic? And no, but also yes. So at the end of your speaking section, you may encounter these question types. So these are new question types, respond to a situation, or summarize group discussion. You may get any of these, but you don't have to panic because it is not scored. These are not scored tasks, and if you want to skip them, you can actually skip them. So if you want to do it for time pass or you just want to try it out, you can just do it. Otherwise, you can just skip it. It's not, you don't have to panic about new question types. Okay, and then whenever you book your test, you're also going to receive an email saying like you're going to have extra question types and stuff like that. So go through your email, and this change is applicable until end of July. So this is probably like a trial run for these new tasks. But yeah, so new question types are not added. These are just trial or this the one, stuff like that, right? Okay, and then score distribution. So I already told you that PT Academic does not have average scoring. So it does not score based on like the average of 4, right? And you also have to know that every single task does not carry equal amount of score, yeah? Right? Every single task does not carry equal amount of score. So you have to practice, you have to prioritize that way, right? So PTE academic exam. So the first thing that you have to know is, even if you just go to the exam and then you don't do anything, I know you just sit there, you don't do anything, you just attend, you're gonna get 10 scores. So 10 score is the minimum score that you're gonna get, right? And then the maximum score is obviously 90. So for the rest of it, you have to work. Okay. And then I already told you that you have to prioritize your tasks, right? Okay, so how you're supposed to prioritize your tasks is by looking at this marking scheme. Okay, so your marking schema, you already have all the tasks here in your most important to least important order, and then you have the total score that it contributes, and then the maximum and minimum number of questions that you're gonna get, and then the average amount of questions that you're gonna get, and then points per question, and then which sections it gives scores to, and how much scores it gives out. Okay, so you can see here in repeat sentence, it gives 51.8 score, and then it gives speaking ma 32.1, and then listening ma 19.7 score. So you have to prioritize this way. So if you want scores, so even in like general college exams, you're gonna like, you calculate your scores first, right? So if I have to pass, like I need this much score, so I have to work this much and stuff like that. So that is how you're supposed to practice this as well. And then these lower ones, these ones in green, so these ones, it's not very important. So even if you don't get it correct, then you don't have to panic. You can just like focus on these red ones and then these orange ones, and these are pretty easy. But then yeah, these ones are not that important, so these are the ones that are important. So that is how you're supposed to practice PTE. Okay, so some these are your based on your requirements. So some unis or whatever your requirements may say IELTS 7.0 or equivalent. So if it says equivalent, then you only have to score like 66, right? But then some places they also give you like IELTS this much and then PT this much. So based on your score. So yeah, this is, check this out. So yeah. Okay, and then the other important thing is your equipment check, because you have to give your test on the computer, right? So all of your equipments, your headset and microphone, like the entire set, those are your equipments for giving the exam. And the computer screen will guide you through all the necessary equipment check, right? And then if any problems arise, just raise your hand and then ask for a technical assistant, and then they're going to be there for you. And त्यसपछि चाहिँ so the first thing you have to do is the headset check. So all of these are your important equipments, and if any of these equipments in the middle they like crash because of your own fault, then they're not going to be responsible, because you didn't check properly, or maybe you pulled out the wires or something like that mistakenly, or I don't know how much, however you may have done it. They're not going to be responsible, you're going to be responsible for that. Right. So try to check properly everything. Right. So headset ko lagi, they're gonna show you this screen. And this is I think I'm speaking both Nepali English mix गरेर, so I think you're gonna get it त्यसरी पनि. Okay. So headset, they're gonna have this screen, and then there's gonna be an option for you to play an audio, listen to an audio, and then adjust the volume, adjust everything like however comfortable, like set it to your comfort. And then the second one you have is the microphone check. And also you're able to adjust the volumes like in the middle as well. Like whenever you're doing tasks, you're able to adjust the volumes then as well. So you don't have to worry about the volume. Make sure ki once you've checked everything, never touch your equipments again. Never touch anything. Don't touch your headset, don't touch your mic, don't touch your CPU, keyboards, no nothing. Keyboards, whenever you have to type, you touch it then. No, but they can say never, right? And त्यसपछि so you have microphone check. So microphone check ma, there's gonna be an option for you to like record your own speech and then play back and then listen to it again. So the biggest mistake that a lot of people make while checking for their microphones, if it's working or not, भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो hello hello mic check 1 2 3 1 2 3 भन्छ क्या. That's not what you're supposed to say, right? Because your answers are not going to be that short. The speaking section answers are not like hello hello 1 2 3. That is not it, right? So you have to speak a bit longer for that. So yeah, that's your microphone check. So what you can do is you can just read the screen. So there's like a whole list of instructions. So you can just read that. So it's gonna sort of be like a read aloud practice as well. And then, or you could just introduce yourself, like the person introduction part, right? So you can just practice that as well. So yeah, and then you listen back to it, and then put it according to what you want. And then you have the keyboard check. So keyboard, you always need to have the QWERTY keyboard, QWERTY, but a start on a keyboard. So QWERTY keyboard. And then the other things that you have to also look at is if the keys get stuck while you're typing. So you have to press on the keys and then like check if it gets stuck, or if it is very hard to type or stuff like that. But most of the times, all of these equipments are very, very sensitive. So headphones are very good, mics are also very sensitive, and you don't have to be as loud. And then keyboards are also good, like they're very sensitive and they're very like easy to type, but then you have to check, right? And then the last one is that you're gonna get notepad and pens. So so you're gonna have one notepad, and then you're gonna have two sort of like marker sign pen types. So अनि त्यसपछि so notepad or pen say so you're gonna get two pens, right? So if any pen runs out in the middle, then you're not gonna get any. So if both of your pen runs out or it dries out because you just like keep it outside, then it's not gonna they're not gonna replace it for you, right? So that's that. And then the other thing about notepads is a lot of students always ask me if we are able to like are we able to take notes in this task or that task. Does not matter. You can write anything. You can write, take notes for any task. You have to take notes for read aloud, take notes for read aloud. You have to take notes for essay, take notes for essay. Does not matter. You have to take notes for repeat sentence, take notes for repeat sentence. Just equipments are there to make your life easier, make your test easier, right? So don't panic. Yeah, so all of these are your necessary equipments that you have to check. If anything happens and it is your fault, then they're not going to be responsible. But then if it is their fault, like their servers crashing or their own fault, then they might compensate you. So they might give you a free test, but yeah, you have to contact Pearson VUE for that. But yeah, other than that, nothing much on the equipments part. Okay, and then so that is our PT overview. Do you guys have any questions related to introduction? Yes, yes, no, no. Khoi ta, in the chat. Yes, yes, no, no, in the chat. Okay. Mm, no confusion. Okay, great job then. ल सो त्यसो भए चाहिँ now I'll tell you what are you actually learning in this class, what are you learning in this entire 7 days 7 hours worth of class. So the first thing is introduction to PT for beginners, masters, everyone, right? Introduction to PT, everyone needs it, and everyone has to have it on the tip of the tongue, right? What is it only campus based test for PT? What do you mean by campus based test? Final exam? Huh? No, it's not campus based. It's just like an English test that you need for your visa or uni requirements if you're studying abroad, or PT also for immigration, study, everything. La. So, introduction to PT for beginners, we've already done that. And then I'm also going to be talking to you about all the modules, all 4 of the modules. Ani त्यसपछि and then task details. So is it in some center? Yeah, you have to go get it. You have to go do it in center. Will you send this class recording at last? You have to contact Smart Academy for that. You can do it online, but then त्यो हुँदैन के भन्छ अरे final exam, no, it's not going to be valid. It's not going to be valid. The PT online is not valid. Okay, okay. Let me finish this. So, I already told you not to ask me questions. Okay. How many of you guys can't understand Nepali? Can you tell me how many of you guys? One is Navdeep, and then who else? Okay, la. And then you also need to know, okay, so you need to know all the modules and task details so that you don't just get lost and you have to like, I'll orient you through the entire exam. So that is it. And then the marking criteria and AI algorithm. So you also need to, our main target is score, right? So we need to target, like, we need to know how we can acquire the scores. So for that, you need to know the marking criteria. And then you also need to know how the software works and all the loopholes in the software and all the strategies and stuff like that. I and then you also need supporting skills. So the PT, Pearson won't just look at your scores, okay? Not just your marking criteria scores. So they're gonna like judge you throughout the exam, the from the beginning that you like log in to the end. So they're gonna judge everything. So supporting skills. So supporting skills examples could be speaking section go its fluency and pronunciation, and then writing section go is grammar, vocabulary, spelling. So त्यसरी every single section has its own supporting skills. So that is what you're supposed to improve. But you guys probably are looking for like fluency, pronunciation, and त्यसपछि grammar improvement, right? That is what you're here for most probably. So all of those are I'm also gonna tend to all of those, and especially test taking strategies. So test taking strategies is not only कि if you know the content, then you know the test भनेको जस्तो चाहिँ होइन क्या. Even if you know English, you most probably won't be able to like crack PT. That is it. So test taking strategies, you need to have a test taker mentality in order for you to, you know, crack PT. Ani त्यसपछि desired score based on your practice. It all depends on your practice, how much you're willing to spend time in this. Now, just because you come into this class for 1 hour and then you just sit here, listen to me, it's not gonna be like magic. It's not magic, right? You also have to practice. And then whatever I tell you, you have to note it down, every single mistake that I tell you, every single solution to the mistake that I tell you. You have to note everything down, and then you have to judge yourself, and then that is how you're supposed to practice. Right? So टेस्ट टेकिङ स्ट्राटेजिजहरू पनि भन्छु अनि त्यसपछि छ हाम्रो टाइम म्यानेजमेन्टको ट्याक्टिक्सहरू. So a lot of people, the main issue for their reading section, for their listening section, and even writing and even speaking is their time management issues. Okay? So the number one thing that you need is तपाईँको टाइम म्यानेजमेन्टको ट्याक्टिक्सहरू है त. So yes, that is it. So these are what is going to be included in the course. So yeah. So let's get started. So wait a second. Let me share my screen. Let me pull up another slide. Wait a sec. Yeah. One sec. Okay. What is the timetable, Melbourne time, and also in weekend? So we have class tomorrow, and then we don't have class on Sunday, and it's gonna be for 7 days, and it is Melbourne time. It is wait one sec. So Melbourne time 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then 4 to 5 p.m. Okay, so we are gonna be discussing the speaking section. If you guys have any questions, then please let me know. Lo, bita ma, if you guys don't understand me. Lo. So speaking section. So speaking section ko चाहिँ ल. So speaking section, right? So speaking section ko चाहिँ तपाईको, let's talk about it. So speaking section is your first section of the PTE examination, and then the first section is actually speaking and writing section. So it's combined. Both of those are combined because writing section only has 2 tasks, right? So it's combined together. So speaking and writing section भनेर भन्छौँ first section, but then it's scored differently. So speaking section is scored differently, separately, and then writing section is scored separately 90-90 को बेसिसमा है. अनि त्यसपछि so yeah, it approximately takes around 1 hour to complete this section, right? Okay, and you also have to know that speaking section is the most important section out of all of these, because speaking section, so I already told you about integrated scoring system, right? So one task does not only give score to one section, it also gives to like the other section, just like how read aloud gives to speaking and the reading section, repeat sentence gives to speaking and the listening section, stuff like that, right? But speaking section gives score to all the other ones, like reading and listening. Speaking section gives score to reading and listening, and it gives really, really good scores. But nobody gives score to the speaking section. So none of the other sections give score to the speaking section, which is why it is very important. And speaking section tasks have very high score in general, so we cannot skip like any tasks here either. Okay, and then so let's take a look at the tasks. Okay, so the question types, we have 5 question types, which are read aloud, repeat sentence, describe image, retell lecture, and answer short questions. So for today, we're gonna do read aloud, and then tomorrow we're gonna do repeat sentence. But then if you guys want anything, then you can also let me know, right? Which in the end, we'll discuss in the end, right? Okay, so let's talk about read aloud. But first, every single one of these tasks, all 5 of these, no, all 4 of these, I'm really sorry, all 4 of these tasks have the same marking factors. So speaking section, all of these have the same marking factors: content, pronunciation, and fluency. So 3 of those. So yeah, and all 3 of those in general, they have the same idea. So content भनेको चाहिँ basically के हो भन्दाखेरि, content is basically तपाईँको question. So your topic related stuff, everything is your content, right? And then pronunciation is the way you speak, the way you pronounce words, but your accent does not matter. Now your accent does not matter does not mean you can speak in like a Nepali accent and then all wrong pronunciation, like glass, like gilas. No, you cannot say gilas, right? You have to say glass, even if it is in Nepali accent, you have to say glass nahi, right? So that is how pronunciation works. Accent not needed, but pronunciation correct हुनु पर्यो. अनि त्यसपछि छ fluency. So fluency ma, so the general idea of fluency is basically you have to pause where you're supposed to, but you cannot pause where you're not supposed to. That is it about fluency. So this is basically like the general idea, but then every single task has like different like marking criteria as well. Like these three are the general ones, but then inside this as well, like it differs for everyone, right? Every single task. Okay. So let's take a look at read aloud. So read aloud, you're gonna get number of questions set 6 to 7 questions answer. So it's gonna be like back to back 6 to 7 questions. So all you have to do is read the passage. So there's gonna be a passage of 50 to 65 words, and then all you have to do is read aloud the passage. And this was your preparation time. So preparation time, you're gonna have 35 to 40 seconds of preparation time, depending on the length of the passage. And this you're gonna have recording time of 40 seconds, right? So in which you have to read the passage. And this is you have this contributes to the speaking and the reading section. Now you also have to understand how it contributes to other sections, because this is speaking section task, right? Why does it contribute to the reading section? Because you have to read the passage, which is why it contributes to your reading section, right? So speaking and the reading section, right? Okay, so this is going to be your screen. So you have to what is this? Okay, so you also need to know, like you need to be able to recognize the screens as well, because you're not gonna get a full-on title, right? Read aloud, repeat sentence. So title say you're not gonna get, right? So you're gonna have this prompt. So look at the text below in 35 seconds. So this prompt will teach you everything, and this will also tell you like how your task is marked, right? So, look at the text below in 35 seconds. You must read this text aloud as naturally and clearly as possible. So, it is telling you to speak naturally and clearly. Is it talking about grammar? No. Is it talking about vocabulary? No. So, you don't need to care about all of those stuff. All you need to care about is speaking naturally and clearly. Right? So, one thing that you need to know, once you enter PTE, just because you do a lot does not mean they're going to give you like grace marks like in your physical like college exams, so or school exams. So they're not gonna give you like grace marks because oh my gosh, she's trying hard. No, just do the bare minimum and get it done with. You don't have to do anything. Right? Okay, and you have 35 seconds to read aloud. So after reading this, then you're gonna understand that this is a read aloud task, right? So this you have this dialog box right here. So recorded answer, current status, beginning in 12 seconds. And it is beginning in 12 seconds. Okay. Okay, so your voice, so beginning in 12 seconds. So it's gonna be like a countdown of like 35, 34, 33, and then blah, 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 and then 3, 2, 1, eh? Di ba yun? And then you start speaking, right? And then this is the passage that you have to read. Ani त्यसपछि okay, if I'm not clear, if I'm alikati अड्किरहेको, then let me know, eh? Okay, so item 1 of 40. So it means कि तपाईँको total number of questions in the entire speaking and writing section is 40, and this is your first question, right? So why you need item number and why you need to focus on item number is that a lot of students where they make mistake is किनभनेदेखि you're gonna get like repeatedly read aloud, you're gonna get repeatedly like 5 times, 6 times. Now your brain is already what? Expecting again read aloud to come, right? Because you're not counting the number of questions that you're getting. You're just like you're just solving the tasks, right? So what happens is now then repeat sentence is gonna appear. Then you're gonna be like, okay, what is going on? And then there's gonna be this audio, and then you're not gonna write anything down, and then you're gonna mess it up. So you always need to have your eyes on the item number. So once the item 6 hits, then you need to be prepared. Okay, now repeat sentence can appear at any moment. Right? That is how you're supposed to do this. And then you have the next button. So PTMA, you can never go back. There's only you only get one attempt for each question. So yeah, you can either solve it then and there, or you can mess it up, and that is it. So you can only move forward. You can never go back and then like be like, I want to solve this task again or something like that. No. Okay. This is a marking factors. So marking factors, we have content, pronunciation, and fluency, obviously, right? But content is different for every single task, right? So in this, content means each replacement, omission, or insertion of a word counts as one error. So content carries 5 credit scores. You don't call it scores because it does not contribute 5 score to the overall 90, right? It only carries 5 credit scores, right? You need to know the difference, right? The credit scores carry गर्छ अनि त्यसपछि each replacement means you replace the word with something else, अर्को word हाल्दिने त्यसको साटो हैन. अनि त्यसपछि omission is निकाल्ने, you miss a word, that's called omission. And then insertion is adding an extra word, so that is called insertion of a word. So all of those count as 111 error. So त्यसरी नै तपाईको चाहिँ score is going to deduct that way. So the more number of mistakes that you make, the lesser the score you get, right? That is your content. So it carries 5 credit scores. And then pronunciation and fluency also carries 5 credit scores. Now pronunciation, I already told you, accents do not matter. What matters is the correct pronunciation, and then every single syllable needs to be clear and stuff like that, which I'll talk to you in a bit about pronunciation. There's more. And then fluency. So fluency, I already told you again that you don't pause where it's not necessary. You don't, you don't pause when it is not necessary either, and you have to pause when it is necessary. That is it about fluency. Fluency does not equal speed. Okay, त्यसपछि छ अरु. Okay, so let's talk about the strategies, right? So strategies here is use the preparation time wisely and skim read the whole passage first. So यसमा के गर्नु पर्यो? So the most crucial thing of your task solving, the whole thing, is your preparation time, the use of your preparation time, how you're using the preparation time, right? So if you use the preparation time wisely, then your recording time and your answer is also going to go smoother, right? So what you're supposed to do in the preparation time, now you're going to skim read the whole passage. So skim read, right? Just read it once, read through it once, right? That's called skim reading. And then you try to identify the topic, right? So you try to understand the context of the passage, what the passage is trying to say, because this, at the end of the day, it ties down to the pronunciation and the fluency. Because once you understand the context of the passage, then it's going to be easier for you to say the words. अनि त्यसपछि तपाईको चाहिँ few words can are used in different contexts, and they have different pronunciation in different contexts. Same word, same spelling, but then it can have different pronunciation in different contexts, right? So you will be able to identify that as well. And then you can identify the topic, and then and then further stuff like that, right? Okay, that. And then even if you make mistakes, don't stutter and recorrect yourself. Okay, this one, never ever recorrect yourself, never ever, right? So okay, what happens if you recorrect yourself, or what happens if you stutter? If you stutter, your fluency is gone, right? Fluency is very, very sensitive. The fluency is the most sensitive thing here, right? So do not stutter, never ever stutter, right? If you don't know something, just skip over it. Never stutter. You can sacrifice content for pronunciation and fluency, but you cannot sacrifice fluency for content, right? So what happens if you recorrect yourself? So if you recorrect yourself, then you've already said the wrong word, right? So that has already deducted your score in the content and pronunciation. Now, when you stop and recorrect yourself, so the stop part, it's going to affect your fluency. And then when you're redoing it, now it's going to appear ki you have added an extra word. So, dhan score ghate, then more score deduction, right? Deduction. So which is why recorrecting is never a good choice, right? So stop recorrecting yourself, and then never ever stutter. Okay, if you you'll already know, whenever you're looking through the passage, then you'll already find words that you're gonna be okay, this is impossible to pronounce, this word is too difficult for me. Then then सुरुमा नै before that word, you're just gonna know, okay, this I cannot pronounce this. Then you can just skip over it, so that you can avoid the stuttering and the recorrecting and the mistakes and stuff like that, right? The pronunciation mistakes and stuff like that. Okay, अनि त्यसपछि, even if you make mistakes, so that's done. अनि त्यसपछि press next immediately after you have completed reading the passage. So after you're done with the passage, then you press next immediately, because I told you your mic is very sensitive. Now the room is also going to be very loud, right? About you guys, some of you guys have already given the test. You know that the room is going to be loud. and I'm telling you the room is going to be loud, or the instructors are telling their students the room is going to be loud. So in return, everyone wants to speak louder, and then the room becomes loud, right? That is what happens. So the level that I am speaking at right now, or the level at you generally speak, that is the level of volume that you need to maintain throughout your speaking section tasks, right? That is it. You don't have to raise your voice, like you don't have to be the loudest in the room, and you don't have to be on top of your breath screaming, right? And yeah, if you're too loud, then also the mic is not gonna like detect you properly. And if you're too के भन्छ, like low volume, then it's not gonna detect again, right? So yeah, के भयो. अनि त्यसपछि so why you press next immediately? If you just stop there and then you just look and then you've already completed, okay, say the recording time is 35 seconds and you're already done in 25 seconds. Now you're not supposed to rest for the rest of the 10 seconds, right? You don't just look at the thing, look at the screen. If you do that, then the mic is going to pick up other people's words, which is not in your content, right? So, mistake. If they say wrong, yours also going to be wrong, right? And if you pause, it's going to also affect your fluency. Because why? Because it looks like you are stuck there, right? And you're taking way too long of a pause. So yeah, that is why you press next immediately after you have completed reading the passage. And it is specially 3-second rule. Okay, so tell me what the 3-second rule is now. You guys have to tell me what the 3-second rule is. What is it? What is the 3-second rule? No idea. Okay, those ones who have already given the test, because once you enter this PTE thing, I know this is the first thing that you have to know. Okay. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, lah, we've already got the answer. So the 3-second rule states that if you don't start speaking, if in any point of time during the recording time, if any point of that time, whether it be the beginning, whether it be in the middle of you speaking, or whether it may be at the end, if there's a 3-second pause, the recording is gonna stop automatically, and then the question is gonna be skipped. So does not matter. तपाईँले जति राम्रो गरे पनि gone, right? Okay, so that is the 3-second rule. And now I'm assuming most of you already are living outside, right? So you guys are probably very familiar with, like, you guys probably have, like, Anthony, you're surrounded with all the Western content and like stuff like that. So consume a lot of Western content. How much ever you can consume that. And then AI. So your read aloud is also very similar to talking to AI, or like talking to Siri, or talking to like OK Google, right? So you can talk to them as well. I don't know if you guys have ever talked to Siri, but yeah, if you talk to her, then she'll reply. Ani, it is kind of like the same way how it works, because they also use speech to text nita. So त्यसरी नै work गर्छ. So try that. Ani त्यसपछि, yeah. So these are the main ones. Whenever you listen, you hear a new word, then you have to have a very curious mind. You have to like like you have to Google it, or you have to find the meaning, or you have to try to learn. You have to have a curious mind in order to improve your English, right? And improving your English is in turn, in conclusion, improving your PTE, right? Okay, so these are very general, very general test taking strategies for your test, for your PTE, right? So now most of you have problem in pronunciation, fluency. So let's talk about that in depth, right? So, okay. Okay. So how to improve your pronunciation, right? So this will be the last topic that we do, and then we'll talk alikati, right? So it's our first day, so we'll talk a little bit, right? Okay, so breaking down the syllable. So this is the number one strategy that you have to use, breaking down the syllables. Now I will show you how you're supposed to break down the syllables. Okay, so there's a lot of things that comes into play when you're breaking down the syllables. Now syllables, but there are so many types. I know. So what are syllables? Words are made up of syllables, and syllables are made up of alphabets. Right? Okay, if you have to screenshot or whatever, do that. So there's a lot of things that comes into syllabus. So I'll give you a link to a video that I'm gonna need you guys to watch. So watch that, and then you're gonna understand better about syllabus. So I'll just give you a general idea of like how you're supposed to use the syllable method in pronunciation. But then in order to understand syllables better, you're going to have to watch that video, and then how to actually differentiate भनेर, because there's these things called open, closed, यताउति भन्ने, like there's a lot of stuff हैन. So त्यो चाहिँ त्यसमा नि हेर्नुपर्छ, because if we start talking about this here, then we're never going to finish the course है. Okay, so how are we supposed to, okay, syllables. Okay, syllables. Okay, so let's just take this word. Now, if I tell you guys to pronounce this, you guys are probably, I'm guessing, probably gonna say pronunciation. Pronunciation. Most commonly mispronounced word. Pronunciation. So let's see how it is actually supposed to be pronounced and how you're supposed to break down the syllables, right? So syllables ko kura चाहिँ, how many ever vowels there are in a word, that many syllables हुन्छ. How many ever vowels there are, हैन? So the first thing that you do is TION भनेको के हो? TION is shun. We already know that, right? TION is shun, SION is shun, ISM. So all of these are called suffixes. Suffixes we never break down, right? So shun, it's already separated, right? Because if we break it down, then it's going to be tion. And now that is not the correct pronunciation. That defeats the whole purpose. I know. Shun. Pro. Okay, so see, pronunciation. Pronunciation, right? So when you say pronunciation, then you're what? You're combining these syllables. But the syllables have to be apart, okay? Like you have to say like each syllable individually, like pronunciation one person, not ki pronunciation भनेर चाहिँ, no. That is not how pronunciation works. है त. So त्यसो गर्यो भनेदेखि चाहिँ it's gonna be like, it's not gonna be detected. है त, correct हुँदैन त्यो. Okay. So that is how pronunciation works. That is how you're supposed to break it down. Do you guys have any questions here? Okay, try to pronounce this. Try to pronounce this. You just like on your own, and then tell me if you're able to pronounce it or no. Okay, chat ma भन्नु मलाई. Pronounce गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ कि नै? सक्यो कि नै pronounce गर्नु? खै त, yes or no? No. Okay, no भनेर आइसक्यो यतानिर मलाई एउटा. No, no, no. Okay, ल. Now let me break it down for you है त. You already know how to say super, हैन? त्यही पनि ल, super. Okay, so you already know how to say super, but still, what is going on here? Okay, la. Okay, la, let me do it. La. Super. Two. Okay. La. Now try to pronounce it. अब syllable by syllable जानु, okay? Because whenever you look at this big word आइबित्तिकै now you start like हुन्छ नि अड्किन थाल्छ क्या. Now your brain starts to lag. कहाँबाट सुरु गर्ने, कहाँबाट सकाउने, right? Where to start, where you supposed to end भनेर, हैन? So if you break it down, then it's sort of like divide and conquer भन्छ नि, त्यही हो क्या, divide and conquer है त. So do that. So यसरी चाहिँ pronounce गर्नु try गर्नु. Now supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious है त. So CIOS is also delicious को शस त थाहा छ नि, delicious बाट शस आएको त्यो लास्टको suffix है. So शस त्यो भइहाल्यो. But yeah, so this is how you're supposed to break it down. Right? So यसरी break down चाहिँ, this looks like a very tedious task at first, हैन? So यत्रो लामो, who's gonna do all this भनेर but once you get the hang of it, then it's gonna be like automatic हुन्छ क्या ब्रेनमा चाहिँ. So in general English, like day to day English मा पनि useful भइराखेको हुन्छ. And then even for your PT त obviously, right? So if it helps in your English, it helps in your PT. So that is how you're supposed to break it down. I'll give you a link as well. I'll in positive end ma remind me end ma. But yeah, otherwise I can give it to you tomorrow as well. You don't have to hurry. But yeah, so this is how you're supposed to pronounce it, right? Okay, let me go back to my slides. Okay, then we have emphasize every single syllable. So most people को problem त्यही हुन्छ क्या. Most people have that problem. Yeah, so I already told you ni again. So sation भन्ने हुन्छ, like it's supposed to be CA ni ta, because C is different syllable, A is different syllable क्या. So every single syllable it has to be clear क्या. Improve, right? Emphasize. यसरी नै, like that is how you're supposed to say there क्या. Now you're not supposed to say like breaking down the syllable. That is not how you're supposed to pronounce. I know, like that is not how you're supposed to say the sentence. But every single word, so it has to be very clear. एकदमै concise, clear हुनु पर्यो. So yeah, emphasize every single syllable, right? So you cannot like mix up the word randomly, है त. अनि त्यसपछि yeah, and then tackle one syllable at a time. अनि त्यसपछि the other thing that you have to do is listen back to yourself. Can you understand yourself? Because if you cannot understand yourself, if you cannot understand what you're speaking, what you're saying, how is AI supposed to understand? So until and unless you're understanding what you're speaking, then yeah. Yeah, you can skip difficult words. If it is difficult, if you feel like, okay, this I've never heard of this before, this, then like this is impossible to solve भनौँ न. अब जस्तो कि there's like silent letters and stuff like that, and it's too complex, then you don't have to say it, you can just say something. Or like if there's like difficult names भनौँ न, like Greek names, Latin names, English names and stuff like that, they're like difficult to pronounce in the कुनै. So yeah, you can skip. Don't skip too much, but yeah, you can sacrifice content if it means the fluency if it improves your fluency. Because like if you get stuck there, then it's gonna obviously deduct your score in fluency, right? So if तपाईँले त्यो skip गरेर चाहिँ it's gonna improve your fluency, then why not? Okay, so you have to listen back to yourself, and then don't go too fast. Going too fast, you're gonna have gibberish pronunciation. क्या gibberish भनेको चाहिँ that kidsहरूले बोल्नु खोज्दाखेरि like blah 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 गरेर बोल्छ नि, like whenever kids are trying to talk, like they don't speak clearly, right? So yeah, so gibberish pronunciation हुन्छ if you try to speak too fast and then you combine all the syllables together, and then it's all gonna be a mess, right? So that is what you're supposed to do for uh any difference in between skipping difficult words than speaking incorrectly. Yeah, if you if you speak it incorrectly, then it's going to affect your pronunciation. But then if you just skip it, then pronunciation, it's not going to affect the pronunciation, it's only going to affect the content. But if you speak incorrectly, it's not going to count in pronunciation pani content pani ke. So you can skip, it does not matter. Okay, lo, do you guys have any questions? Any questions until now? Any questions up until now? Yes, no in the chat. No. Okay, good. That is what I like to see after my class. Okay, great job. Lo. So let's cap it at that for today. आजको लागि त्यतिमा नै stop गरिदिम. So तपाईहरु मलाई आन्सर गर्नु है त. अब चाहिँ let's have a brief session. हामी आफै कुरा गरौँ. So let me get to know this batch so that I can better like tailor my course for you. So what problem, what do you think is the problem तपाईहरुकोमा? Kema, what do you need help in the most? Reading, okay. Just like I guessed. Reading आएको छ एउटा text chat मा. अरु people reading मात्र हो, reading. Repeat sentence. Okay, repeat sentence चाहिँ okay, so भोलिको content पनि म अहिले नै भनिहाल्छु. So as हामीले pronunciation, so today we did pronunciation, right? Link to pronunciation. Oh yeah, link एकैछिन है त. So एकैछिन, let me wait, म link पठाइदिन्छु. वेट है 1 सेक यतानिरबाट अहिले लिङ्क लिएर जानु है टेक द लिङ्क अहिले नै ओके okay, I'll drop it in the chat. This is my first attempt. Okay, write essay. You need okay, write essay. Sending the chat. Okay, I've sent you the link. Check out that link, right? Okay, okay, let me look at the chats now. Reading section, reading all. Okay, reading all. All, okay. So all चाहिँ एक हफ्तामा all भ्याउँदैन के all चाहिँ I'm यस्तो गर्ने हो. Okay, I'll tell you my plan and then you guys tell me if you guys agree है त. So we'll do the most important one. So अघि नै I showed you the whole thing, right? The marking scheme, right? So what we're gonna do is first the red wala, we're gonna focus mostly on that, how we can improve that, how we can tackle that and stuff, right? We'll go in depth on that. So all the supporting skills needed as well. Supporting skills also will go in depth. I know. With that being done, this pasita, I don't think you're gonna have much issue. So back goes into sano task we're only gonna go like surface level, small tasks, we're only gonna go surface level. End ma gaera चाहिँ है त. So what do you guys think? Writing, how do you find writing? Will you provide templates? Okay, I'll provide templates as well. Reading, fill in the blanks. Okay, listening. Okay, agree. Okay, la. So that is how we'll work. Ani tomorrow say we will how should we need to practice daily? How should we need to practice? Practice, have you like भर्खर सुरु गरे हो कि के हो? Describe image and written lecture पनि गाह्रो लाग्छ. I'll give you the templates. I'll tell you how to use the templates पनि. Templates वाला सबै टास्कहरु पनि गर्ने. So we'll do all the 4 important tasks अनि त्यसपछि template वाला task अनि त्यसपछि बाकीको सानो टास्कहरु जुनमा चाहिँ I'll only list out the strategies instead of just like showing you in depth भन्दा पनि. So are you practicing or what are you doing? AP Uni, Alpha PT, I can't do diagrams in writing. Huh? Where are diagrams in writing? Which diagrams are you talking about? I am always struggle, huh? What diagrams? Where are the diagrams in writing? What diagrams are you talking about? Okay, where's the chat? We need to explain the chart. Huh? Which chart? For 60, so what should we do? For 60 each, what you need to do is you need to practice, but then you practice like the most important one. So prioritize गरेर practice गर्नुस् न सबै त्यो माथिबाट के. So तपाईँले सुरुमा repeat sentence, त्यसपछि read aloud, त्यस्तो टास्कहरु चाहिँ मेनली फोकस गर्ने हो. अनि त्यो सानो टास्कहरुलाई चाहिँ त्यो इग्नोर गर्दा नि हुन्छ. 60 each चाहिँ इजी हुन्छ त्यस्तो वेमा गर्यो भनेदेखि चाहिँ. I will send it over to हाम्रो स्मार्ट एकाडेमीमा अनि त्यहाँनिरबाट चाहिँ के भन्छ अरे उहाँले पठाइदिनुहुन्छ तपाईलाई. Describe image को बारेमा कुरा गरेको होला. Thank you so much Nisha for joining. ल, so भोलि चाहिँ we're gonna be talking about improving fluency. So do not miss classes है. तर पनि yeah, so भोलि सुरुमा चाहिँ we're gonna talk about fluency, how to improve your fluency. अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ we will talk about repeat sentence. अनि yeah. So that is how we will run the class tomorrow. Okay, has Navdeep given task before? Thank you, you're better than previous one. Is gonna help. Previous one? I don't know who previous one is. Thank you so much, though. Yeah, you're gonna get the notes for class as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have to thank Smart Academy for bringing this. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. ल आजको लागि चाहिँ त्यति नै गर्छौँ. Let's cap it at that. where can we get the notes? They're gonna tomorrow same time tomorrow, isn't it? 4 to 5 p.m. Melbourne time. So same time as today. Every single day it's gonna be the same time. So you can join any classes. If you guys find difficult, like English बुझ्न difficult लाग्छ भनेदेखि चाहिँ 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. मा चाहिँ there is nobody else. So त्यहाँनिर चाहिँ you can नेपालीमा नै बोल्ने हुन्छ completely. So त्यहाँ आउँदाखेरि हुन्छ 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. मा है त. त्यो चाहिँ मेलबर्न टाइम. सो या यु क्यान जोइन टुमोरो मर्निङ पनि. सो 10 AM to 11 मा छ, अनि त्यसपछि 4 to 5 मा छ. सेम लिङ्क नै हो. अनि तपाईँहरूको साथीलाई सेयर गर्दा पनि भयो तपाईँहरूले लिङ्कहरू चाहिँ होइन. सो या त्यो फर्महरू यताउति सेयरहरू गर्नु होला. अनि या सो लेट्स मिट टुमोरो है त. ओके, बाई बाई एभ्रीवान, हेभ अ ग्रेट इभिनिङ.